Sorry, I don't use that word a lot.
You get such
Does
a
anyone
kick
use
out of the word
corridor
corridor.
I did get tripped out about that.
Whip. You again.
Is that a hallway? Somewhat?
How is
no.
it?
Yes,
To a
it
degree?
is.
How-
Yes,
how-
it's a
how-
hallway.
Oh, it's a
how
hallway.
are you
There we
again?
go. What happened? Whoa. That was too
Bye.
Lightning in here.
Is that opposite of that? Wow.
Feels a little breezy.
Oh,
What is-
no way.
Oh,
I
Dusty.
didn't see any clouds.
Oh, that's
Hello,
Dusty.
Dusty.
Yeah. Maybe he can transform into an actual human, like with real organs and skin.
Yeah, he was once a human. Yeah.
Once a human, now a skeleton.
Just bones.
That's
Oh,
it.
you guys are talking about me.
Yes, once a skeleton, once a
Bone
human,
man.
now a skeleton.
Dusty bones.
Once a human, now a skeleton.
Yeah.
Is that all you are?
Or
You
maybe
you
always
gotta
a
be more-
skeleton.
You gotta
How
be
do you
more than
know?
that. What do you
Yes.
have? What do you have going for you?
A skeleton trapped in a
What do you
human's-
think? Can you see anything down here? No. There is nothing.
It's a pelvic bone.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh-oh.
Nothing more to it, man. Don't think about it too much.
No, I know. You're a nice guy. You helped me out. You've been cool. Oh, now he's not
there
being
you are.
cool. Hello?
No, you cannot get rid of me. I wonder what would happen if I teleport with you.
Try.
Whoa.
Click
Let me
X.
see. Move player.
Am I getting
They'll never
warped?
get rid of him now.
I'm getting warped.
Yeah, Dusty keeps pushing.
Oh, look, is
you.
that a...
So
that
I
a
guess
pedestal?
I'm
Did
getting
you-
captured.
Did you put in a little
Yep,
That
little
makes
pedestal?
Okay.
That's cool.
I need.
Oh,
Little podium.
Yeah,
What? What's happening now? I don't. I
that
see-
explodes
okay, it's
into
clipping a bit, man.
craziness.
You're clipping me out, and
Have any
we're
other
clip me out of
we're
this
going
thing.
into the void. We're going into the infinite
I
void.
think I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, we are.
Oh no.
We are falling.
No, we didn't fall yet.
We're
You're
going
falling,
down.
but in slow
I'm
motion.
bringing you with me, kamikaze.
Oh no.
You're having a
Going
hard time
down.
clipping. Clip it. Clip it.
No.
No clip.
Oh, what the...
Don't go back inside,
No
man.
clip.
Come on.
There
You're
we
going
go.
Even though
down
that's
into the
supposed to be
infinity.
what it's supposed to
Oh.
be. No clip.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Seth, I
just
got
show
you
me
get
the
here.
spot.
Wow. He knows how to do it. I jumped out. Now I know the secret hiding spot.
The three of us. Uh-oh.
I know the secret hiding spot now.
Yep.
Sort of. Not really.
Peekaboo.
So I just realised what time it was. I'm eating my dinner at the same time.
Aha.
Oh boy. I bet you that username checks out. What do you think?
Hey, Dusty, bring me back.
Junior Peach. You bet they're
Mhm.
Send them over
3.
to Bob's in the high rise.
What's going on?
I think
yeah,
I'm
be
stuck.
handy. You should be able to just click somebody and
Oh,
send
I
them
got it.
somewhere.
I got it.
You're
No,
back, you're
oh,
back.
Oh,
there I go. I got it.
let's
Thanks.
just see how this goes.
Sweet.
Let's just see.
Don't delete that spot.
How
It's
this
good.
Why are
I
they
basically
standing all
told
the way
Bob I
back
will
here?
send
Why don't we
people
get
his
up
way.
close? I can't read anything.
I know. Same. I don't know why I keep doing
What are we
it.
reading?
Probably because I'm used
You
to
can
sitting
get up
at the
close.
back
You
of
can
the
get up
class
close and
when I
sit
was a
down in the
kid.
middle
Getting up close.
like this. But the cool kids are at the back because that's where we are all having a laugh, right, Triffid?
What are you
Well,
supposed to
I'm
read
not
though?
cool, so I'm not staying in the back.
Oh, come on, Dusty. Skeletons can be
Screencast.
cool too. It's 2024. Come on, man.
I think there is a
I thought it was
coolness in not
2017.
being Cool.
No, that's an inside joke.
How's that?
Remember?
Is that a
2017.
good Zup? Oh, 2017. That's right. I remember.
Inside joke. Inside joke. Yeah,
Back in the
exactly.
day.
Yeah.
Back
We
in
all
the
had
old
2017.
days.
Oh,
Eileen, if
is
you're
this
talking, nobody
Windows
can hear you.
10? Let's go.
Oh, you weren't just talking for like 5 minutes.
Oh, hang on. Maybe I need to reload if I can't see it.
Where's the Enterprise? Where's the Enterprise?
Here, I'm just gonna give everybody a little reload.
Sure.
Oh no!
There we go.
Some of us go to the
That-
spawn point. Did you see that? It's weird.
That was a
And
real.
there we go.
That worked.
That's right.
Okay, now we can see. Ooh,
You have a notification.
What do you think?
ooh, what's this?
We still can't hear Elin though.
That's right.
Hello, hello.
I see all the streamers
There we
with
go.
Hi.
Windows 11. I'm like, ah, whatever.
What are we seeing
Whoa.
here?
This is how you develop.
Nothing.
I don't know
right?
anything about
Because the people-
what's going on. Trust me. I'm just saying.
We need someone
Maybe-
to tell us
Like-
which
maybe that's
keys
what's going on.
is being pressed.
Maybe.
Oh, there's an
Okay.
on-screen thing. You'll see. She'll set it all up in a moment.
I'm pretty sure this is somewhat of a Unity texture development SDK, right?
It's just a world
Huh?
building.
I'm not even looking at the words. I'm literally just.
I think it's some sort of a 3D mobile platform JavaScript sandwich
Java.
SDK.
So not Unity then. Not Unity.
Sandwiches.
But
I think that's
why would
Blender.
Java be used?
Sandwiches.
But
Catwalk.
wouldn't Unity be used over Java? Except for the
Yes.
browser part. I mean,
That's
I
right.
mean the textures afterwards
That's right.
when you're compiling it.
That's
I
right.
don't know anything
Well,
about
you-
what I'm talking about. I absolutely
you had me fooled. You had me fooled.
really. Thank you.
No,
'cause I
well,
just
kind
I
of.
just listen.
You knew it was a
listen.
browser. I mean, that's
No,
something.
no. I did go to
Oh
computer.
god, I
I
didn't
was
want
in
to say
computer
anything.
science
I
for.
forgot what-
I was in university for computer science for 1 year. Dropped out because of a panic attack in
Oh,
my last exam.
Jesus.
It sucked.
bad.
It was a 3-hour exam and packed full with like 500 people at least, and it was like
Jesus.
couldn't handle that 3-hour exam, so it destroyed
Hope you're
me.
doing better nowadays,
yes.
my friend.
Dude, how would you even
Yeah.
stop students from cheating in there? I would cheat the fuck out of that class. If there's
Well, thank you,
500
but you should have
people
told me
there.
that before I went in there. Not today.
I would cheat the fuck out of it. Nah, 500
How do you
people.
cheat though? How do you cheat?
It's put it in your freaking sleeve or something. Just hide papers. Draw it
I
under
don't
your
know.
shoe.
Hide
Back
some
to always
progress,
wanted to-
just put them on.
I wanted to try
Put
the
them
water
on.
bottle trick. The water bottle trick where you write it in your water bottle, like the label inside the water bottle, so you
Mhm.
just keep turning your water bottle around and seeing the answers.
Well, no, I don't think that
Inside?
would work. I think they removed the labels.
Yeah, see? Exactly.
I would
How you
know
cheat.
because I'm an invigilator.
There you
at
go.
the exam
How do you
center.
cheat?
Uh-huh.
Maybe, Elin, are you waiting for us to shut up? so
I
that
didn't
we
want to
can-
cheat, man.
Tell
us
I
what
you're doing.
I didn't want to.
Just continue good talking. I'm just
Yeah.
continuing here, and
Okay.
if you have question, just ask. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
what are you doing?
we asked you last week that for this event, if you have any problems or you want to know something specifically, how to do something, then this is the time. You can either throw in your Blender scenes into Discord, and I can open them up and look at them, or you just tell me what you wanna know, what you wanna do, how to do it. And if you don't have anything, we'll just continuing working on this little space and explaining what I'm doing, hopefully, and not drifting into silent, concentrated work.
No. We like your. That was awesome. I liked hearing
Oh,
it.
we're listening.
It was ASMR-ish.
Has anybody got any questions? And anybody anything they'd
Yeah.
like to...
Yes.
ASMR.
It's a Unity question, but I don't know. Maybe you can answer it anyways.
Hey, Unity
I'm
questions,
doing.
see? We all got Unity
I'm
questions.
building
There you go.
something, and then I built something that I want to export from Unity, just to have as like a separate object or assets or something like that. But is that possible? In some.
You
way?
want to export it from Unity?
Yeah, I have built something in a space, and I want to export it to use in another space.
Did you build it with something like ProBuilder or?
Yeah, some parts ProBuilder, some parts regular Unity things.
Okay, so there is a way. Let me quickly get ProBuilder to run.
Going on.
Is it here? No, it's Unity registry.
Where's the echo? Where are we hearing the echo from?
Probably
From the
neighbor.
cheerleaders. Let me figure that out.
Oh, you're echoing, designer girl. Do you want to mute
Uh,
yourself temporarily?
Your hands are freaking out for me.
Yes, it looks like it's one of the older Ready Player Me avatars, but unless they have that problem again.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like
I'll
that.
change
Makes
all
sense.
TV static
Compression.
hands, yeah.
Yeah,
But wait,
Oh,
that
would make for a
problem,
great
we solved
background
that.
master.
maybe it's on this avatar, or this avatar hasn't been updated since. The
Oh,
problem
I
was solved.
see. Yes, that's right. If you don't update your avatars, you will keep the plague.
That's right. You will
Plague.
have plague forever.
Oh, the plague.
That's right.
Those are
Which plague?
cool. What do you mean?
There was a plague
Those
here
days.
last year for a few months. A bunch of people got it. It was spreading like wildfire. It wasn't as bad
Oh.
as a
That was a
real
bad
plague.
bug then. Wow.
It was a bad bug, yeah. But we cured
Bad
everybody.
hands
We were able
wasn't
to
bad.
release
We cured everyone. I love it.
gas
this-
into the
Was
venting
this
system.
anything to do with the black fingers and legs?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it? What do they
Because
call
I'm
that?
looking
Like,
at Pony now when he's got black fingers.
I
I've always
think
got
only
black
one-
fingers.
No,
I said, just
I
which
think
is,
only
I said, which is the
one
color
plague
there?
That's just that
All
out.
That's
right,
just
okay.
my mistake.
That's actually the
That's just
texture.
my
Okay.
mistake.
You'll start a panic
And
click
think
for
of it-
Jesus. Everybody be like, oh my God, the plague! The
black
plague!
finger
Is
is
back!
The plague.
See nothing.
Release the
Here's a
gas.
question for you,
know?
Elin.
Like,
Because,
no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Sacrifice all
He
of them.
said
I'm still bad at
Yeah,
baking
easy.
textures. Sometimes I have no idea how to
Baking.
bake other than diffuse. Like
Oh yeah.
if I want to bake
True.
other stuff, so if I have like normals and lights and stuff, if I want combined, I can't get it to work. Most of the times it's just black. They end up just black, and even I don't want lighting everywhere because I don't even know if I need lighting. I'm confused there.
They could end up black when you have your metallic set to 1 and roughness to 0. Or if your metallic is to 0, that's also you should never have your metallic set to exactly 0 or exactly 1. Same with roughness. This can really mess with baking.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
Answer my
okay, that's a
question.
good thing to keep in mind. Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I am
What are
I am
Oh, I
pretty
just heard
some?
Minecraft
Bones.
sound.
Can you get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
resolution any better, Ellen?
I did that by accident. Sorry. What are
No,
some
you just have to get
must-have-
closer, Kurt.
What
I
are
think.
some must-have plugins or add-ons for Unity or Blender? I don't even know if they
Up the-
support
up the
add-ons, but
response
that's a
size.
good
if
question.
there are some, what are
Okay.
some must-have add-ons?
Okay, so for
Bakery.
Unity, bakery, yes. Thank you. That's actually, in my opinion, the only one you really need, because everything else, some editor tools, like when you look at my tools here, that's all just ChatGPT created
Yeah,
scripts.
My friend
So
did that
it's
too.
like, oh, I want to do this. I don't want to do it by hand. Please write me a script. Then it's a little forwards and backwards. And then after normally half an hour to an hour, you have a script that does exactly what you wanted to do. So back to the question. Exporting ProBuilder generated stuff. So ProBuilder just builds a mesh that's saved in the project. In order to export, you can use the GLTFast package, but I actually prefer the FBX exporter that's in the Unity registry. So that's an included package. You only have to install it. And as soon as you have it installed, you can right-click on objects and then just select export as FBX. Then it asks where it should go. Oh yeah, if you use Blender, you have to switch to binary because default Blender's FBX importer can't do ASCII. So switch
Okay.
to binary. Most of the time, even though I don't have animations, I say model only, I say highest, but this also makes no difference because we don't have any LODs. And also I say always world absolute, because when you have now multiple objects that are in a hierarchy, then it will keep their position.
Ah, nice.
So
This is being
it's
recorded,
just,
right?
Yes.
it's
Okay,
just
nice,
do
because I'm not
this.
gonna remember any of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
typical.
Live stream to YouTube.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
for
Elin.
example,
So
we
everybody's
click now
just got
export,
this. Oh,
and
no.
there is now
Good.
your mesh you built with Pro Builder. And if you have now multiple of those, I'm just duplicating, linking it together, select the parent one, export FBX. Let's give it another name. And there you have both objects, and they are also, it keeps the hierarchy, it keeps the naming, and yeah, and also it
Can
keeps
you,
most of the time the textures. So you see here, these are the Pro Builder textures that got
that's
included.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
And
yeah, I didn't
honestly,
see that
Can
before.
you, sorry, Elin, I don't mean to interrupt. Can you put on, your thing that you have that shows what buttons and keys you're pressing?
oh, in Blender, yes.
Thank you.
I should really keep this enabled by default. Okay, there we go.
Thank you so much, Elin.
Okay, so actually, we can count this as a must-have Unity plugin, the FBX exporter, because that already helped me so much when you got, for example, a Unity package from the store, which just consists out of individual objects. For example, let me quickly grab the original prototype space. I think it was this one.
Oh.
Not quite, but similar. So that's now a full environment, and everything is obviously built out of a lot of small prefabs. So you can just, we can just misuse
Will you
their...
parent everything? You parent
Yes,
everything
exactly.
so it gets included? Okay.
So I'm just throwing it on the direct light. Makes no sense, but this will still work. And you can always export the individual objects when they are as FBX in the project, but if you have something that's completely assembled, or even if you want to rebuild something, but you need all the positions, then this one is just a quick and easy solution.
But you can't get the textures to come over too, right? It only brings the model. Oh, it did bring textures.
No, textures are included because it's using FBX embedded.
Oh, okay.
The only problem here is now that the rotation is completely messed up.
Is that a light source?
Yes, I parented it to the direct light, and the direct light had a rotation.
At an angle. Yep, that makes sense.
That's not smart. You better parent it when it's not rotated, when you export everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, oh yeah, another one for Unity, Amplify Shader Editor. That is by far, I would say it's pretty on top with Bakery, because I'm just using it everywhere all the time. And I don't know, does someone have some experience with Unreal? Because this shader editor is actually just a one-to-one copy of Unreal's internal shader editor. So if you already worked with Unreal, this one feels pretty familiar.
If you
And,
already work for Unreal.
and it also
Do we?
has quite
Does
a lot
anybody
more
work for Unreal?
functions.
No.
I mean, we
Work
work on
with Unreal,
with
not work
Unreal, I
for.
know. Not work for, I know. I literally caught myself while I was saying I'm sorry.
Nah, we're real.
No problem. So yeah, so the main thing is it has a few less functions out of the box as shader graph, but it can do under the hood a lot more. So there's a lot more advanced stuff possible with Amplify. But it's a little bit difficult, and the main problem is that there are almost no tutorials online because yeah, most people that use Amplify Shader don't like to share their stuff, seems like. So you quite often, when you, for example, you buy some assets on the asset store, some nice looking shaders, and then when you look at them, and let me quickly open it in the text editor, and then you see at the top, made with Unreal Shader Editor, then you can, most of the time, they keep the all the metadata in there. So this is just a nice, a normal shader that that Amplify generates, and all the connections and all the nodes, that's just here in the meta files. So this is just where it draws the graph. So if a shader you get somewhere has still stuff in there, you most certainly can just open it up in Amplify and can edit it very easily.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's
Is
it.
Amplify
So,
is Amplify free or does it cost? Just out of curiosity.
unfortunately not.
Yep, that's okay.
Cha-ching.
It's worth keeping an eye on it though because it goes on sale regularly.
Yes.
It was about
Fantastic.
half price just over Christmas.
It's not on sale today, though.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely
Piracy.
No piracy.
We don't condone piracy here.
No Okay. No.
Just
I know you're gonna say
side
that.
loading. Just side loading. Just side loading.
No, I don't pirate anything. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Just side loading.
You can go to Battleship if you want to be pirating anything.
Yep.
No,
Battle pirates.
oops.
Yeah, currently it's actually they
Yeah.
got quite expensive. I think I purchased it for something like $30, and now it's at 80. So yes, it's on the expensive side, but
Oh, I'm talking
absolutely
about the
they're
Team
going
Beef
on
mods.
sales.
I bought
What
those.
is
I
that
have those
noise?
games. I bought those. I have those. Team Beef. Team Beef. Who does anyone know Team Beef?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sure.
They here today? No, everyone's always here.
No, they don't hang up with losers.
They don't. What?
Hey, we're the cool kids.
What? Do we not like Team Beef or something?
Team Beef is
No,
awesome.
no.
No, it was
Oh.
the opposite. She was calling herself a loser.
Oh,
All
yeah.
of us are
Okay.
losers.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. It's yeah. Okay. Don't know what to say a lot to that.
Okay,
But-
let's continue. So,
Mhm.
must have Blender add-ons, and again, we're starting with a paid one. So, UV Packmaster,
Oh yeah.
absolutely world class. Let me quickly open up a project where I can show its
Oh, I just realized what
potential a
word you were
little bit
working for.
better. So, you're probably gonna know this space.
Backroom pinball.
Yes, exactly.
Good idea, right?
So for example, all those
Yeah,
little
run away
parts
from the
here,
pinball.
they are already unwrapped, so they have their UV map. If I view the UV map, then you just see it's most of the time just piled. So, whoops, that's the wrong texture actually. So this is the UV that's getting, whoops, it's getting displayed. But you also want a light map UV, and you can generate that in Unity by default, but that's just absolutely garbage, and it uses not even 50% of your full UV space. So I can only highly recommend do your UV maps in the 3D tool. So there are two ways to do that. So actually, you can just, so for example, we don't have any UV maps. We create a new one. We just rename it. Light map with T. And then since it's already unwrapped, we can just select everything. And then in UV Pack Master, all you have to do is click on Pack. By default, heuristic search is disabled. So if you just click Pack, it will just pack it once. That's pretty similar if you go to UV and then select Pack Island. So that's Blender's internal tool. Takes a little bit longer. But if you enable heuristic search and then also allow mixed scales and advanced heuristic, and then click on pack, then it will continue and continue improving the results. This one is now pretty simple because there is not much to improve. The most important part that your second UV, so in my case, I just named it light map. You can name that whatever you want. The most important part is that it's the second one because that's the one Unity will use for light baking. So first one, you can just pack it and make sure it's completely unwrapped for the object, or if you want to bake a complete sector or a complete area into one object, you can actually just select all your objects. That's going to get the same light map. And then if we do an unwrap, and now everything here now is now on the UV map and absolutely chaotic. So if we go now with pack, actually let us quickly compare it. So we do measure area. So we have now 0.745. That's actually pretty good for a default unwrap. But let's see what we get with some packing. That's actually a little bit worse, but it keeps the margin. Actually, I have increased the margin a little bit. Margin means the distance between each island. So this distance here, because when it is too low and Unity's mip mapping kicks in, and for example, you have a pixel from the light map that is this size, and next pixel that is this size, and the margin is too low, so your UV islands are too close to each other, then it can be that this edge is bleeding into the pixel of the other island, and this results in some white spots or some black spots, and yeah, so so-called mostly just some fireflies and some leaks and artifacts. So you want to make sure that you keep your distance between the islands. And yeah, with Packmaster, you can just do that with the margin, which is pretty nice. Also, one of my favorite functions, let me see. Maybe we can do it with this one here. Let's do a fresh unwrap. So for example, here we have those caps. Those are actually here the top parts. And we want them to be the same because it makes no sense that they are different. So you could actually go in here and just select the whole element and then just placing them on top of each other. You can use snapping if it works, but snapping in UV, honestly, it's absolutely garbage. And I don't know why they haven't improved it yet. Yeah, so just select everything. Then you have Align tab, and this will just align every UV island that are similar. And you have different modes. So you have based on border shape, based on topology, and based on vertex position. And then you click stack, and it stacks them perfectly on top of each other. My favorite mode is vertex position because it also has the option for correct vertices. So if you have some UV islands that are similar but still a little bit different, like they have the same amount of vertices and all the relations are correct, but for, let me quickly return this, but for example, one of them is a little bit like this, one of them is a little bit like this. So they are now different. And if we go with topology, that actually works. I mean, border shape will now also work. I need an example that does not work. So now this won't work because the border shape is differently. But with vertex position, they will actually stack, and if the value is not too high, that is still too high. That's too low. Nah, come on. Okay, that was this one. And there we go. And yeah, that was a little bit too much. So it matched now some of the wrong vertices together. So actually this one here should be outside. But yeah, it's super handy when you have a lot of small parts that are pretty similar and you want them to have the same UV space. Or for example, when you're doing symmetrical objects, then that's also super helpful that you can just stack them on top of each other. For example, those. So now they are stacked and now they are just completely identical. Some else is actually text tools. Text tools is already included in Blender. So you just have to search for text tools and there it is. And it has a lot of fun functions. So let me quickly unwrap it like this. So you see now that's just basic unwrapped, and you have this zigzag pattern because the column has the zigzag pattern, and also it's a little bit curved. So then there is this align panel, which I absolutely love. So for example, I say now I want to align it everything to the outer right. So I click this and it will check what was the most right point and then align everything to this point. And it does this for all axes, but if you have something that is based on a cylinder or just have a grid-like shape, like this one, you can just click rectify And then it will completely straighten it in all directions. And then you can just click fill, and it will fit and match it perfectly to your UV layout, which is super handy. So most of the time, I'm just going rectify, fill, and when I'm in fill mode, I use the 2D cursor as pivot. So my pivot is in the bottom left corner, and then I'm going with power of 2. So I go SY2, for example, to extend it, to scale it on 2 units on the y-axis to keep the ratio correct. Yeah, and actually, that's everything I use this tool for. It has so much features. It can bake, it can assign color IDs, and whatever it can do. But I most of the time really just use fill, alignment tools, and rectify, and sometimes relax. But you can do all the relax stuff. You can actually do with a brush, which I prefer a lot more, that you can just selectively smooth and relax where you want. Yeah, that's actually it for text tools already.
Cool.
Some else. Go quickly back.
I got a new big question about light maps.
Yes.
So the idea of a light map is to group like multiple meshes to have one light map, or because I would assume if you put light maps to every mesh, it's like identical to the UV mesh, like the UV map. So it doesn't make sense, right? So did I understand that correctly, or?
Yeah, so Unity and Unreal, when you bake light maps, they try to cluster objects in some packages, and then creating light maps for those objects in this cluster. So you have multiple objects normally in one cluster where it generates one light map for it. The more assets you have and the bigger your map is, the more light maps are getting generated. But the problem is with all kind of automated stuff, automation just is crap 90% of the time. So that's why it's always recommended to do the stuff yourself. If you have basic stuff and it works fine, absolutely go with automated. So in Unity, you can actually just select here on the asset generate light map UVs if you don't have any, and then Unity does all the heavy lifting. But yeah, the problem is just that Unity system is crap and the light maps look bad. And for example, this one is also custom, and you see how pretty well it is packed everything on one light map. And let's see, do I have something that is not manually packed? No, that's also manually packed, I think.
Anybody work for
one.
Unreal? Remember that joke?
Actually,
that was bad timing. Sorry.
I guess
thought
my
it was good
question
timing.
would be, what is the difference between the UV map and the light map? Why should they be different in UV
okay.
UV
So
unwrapping?
okay, so if you have a unique texture to your object, so you textured something and you texture it, for example, in Substance Painter, then you have an unwrap and everything is completely flat. But if you're using tiling materials, like everything where you want some decent quality out of it, because you can't just throw 8K textures on everything to make it look good. So you have to use tiling textures, and this means you have to use overlaps. So all your textures have to overlap, but overlap textures can't be used for light baking.
Function as a light
That's
map. Yes, thank you.
yeah, that's why you're using a light
That
map
makes
where
sense.
everything is flattened and nothing is overlapping. Yes, exactly. Where was I? Okay. You want to see some more fun tools?
Sure.
Okay, so one there is hard ops. That's mainly done for hard surface modeling. It has some predefined modifiers. For example, it has all the booleans already set up. So, for example, let's have this one. You can just quickly do a subtraction, and it will just change the shading mode so to a wireframe that you can still adjust it. And yeah, basic auto smoothing options, but most of the time I actually use it for viewpoint shading, because when you click Control Alt, wait, why are my screencast keys not working? Yeah, if you press Alt V, it opens this menu where you can quickly toggle wireframe, you can toggle face orientation, and you also can quickly enable screen space ambient occlusion, which sometimes, especially if you haven't added textures to your scene, it's super useful to just work with screen space ambient occlusion. Or when you are in a solid shading view, then absolutely turn on cavity. Yeah, but for me, most of the time, it's really, oh, how are my normals looking? Control V, face orientation, check my stuff. Oh, there's stuff that's broken. Okay, could be the other way around. Would be always you have to go actually in here, and then it's this button, and yeah, this add-on just has everything here in a nice little menu. Same with wireframe. Actually, wireframe is a little bit difficult. No, not more. There was a time where you had to turn on wireframe mode for every object individually. So that's why I still have it burned in my mind to use this add-on for it, because yeah. In older Blender versions, it was an absolutely nightmare to turn on wireframe mode for every object. Some else. This one I already showcased in some avatar creation. This is mostly for skinning. So if you are into rigging and skinning, this one is your free pass for being lazy. So it's just super quickly and yeah, does 90% of the jobs. Actually, since I'm using this tool, I haven't touched the weight paint brush since ages. So this just takes all
Kolay gelsin.
yeah, the work away. The only thing to keep in mind, so it has this bone influence. By default, it's set to 8, which won't work for Unity because Unity has a limit for mobile weight groups, and this is 4. So actually, it says in the tooltip to set it to 4 for mobile devices. So yeah, if you use this tool, absolutely change it to 4, or everything will break. Maybe we can showcase it quickly.
I wasn't paying attention. The influence
Sorry,
bones to
what?
4, right? You said influence bones to set to 4, right?
Yes, exactly.
I missed that.
So that's
okay, yeah.
the.
This tool looks nice. I have to buy it.
Okay, let's quickly get rid of all vertex groups. Oh yeah, always keep in mind when you do anything in Blender and you have a list like this with plus and minus, you don't have to press minus for everyone, there is always this little special icon where you can just delete everything. I made this mistake way too long where I had, I don't know, 100 vertex groups and made then an auto clicker just to click on minus until I realized,
Oh my god!
oh
I
my
guess
gosh.
it also works for shape keys.
Yes, exactly.
I
Okay,
was clicking
so
with 2 fingers on my mouse, like literally pressing 2 fingers, like in succession, very fast.
okay, so we have this mesh. This mesh has no armature anymore, so let's do a quick armature deform with automatic weights. And damn it, actually it works pretty well with automatic weights. Bad example. Don't work so good. Let me quickly. Are we still there? No. Yeah, just duplicate this. This should hopefully break it. Yeah, so this one did not get weighted because there's no connection and it's too far. Let's quickly check the weighting. Oh, actually, to check the weighting, you have to click your armature first. Also, little tip in the armature settings in viewport display, turn on in front. That you can see your bones all the time. And actually, most of the time, I'm going with sticks. That's my favorite. So you first have to select your armature, then your mesh, and then you switch to weight paint mode. I'm using Pi menus. And then you can just use Shift to select bones to see their influence, their weighting. So this all looks good, but the lowest one, this part did not get weighted at all. So let's see if we can quickly fix this with the add-on. So we just say voxel heat diffusion.
What add-on is that?
It's called, the name is completely misleading. It's not called Mesh Online. It's actually called voxel heat diffusion, I think. That's actually the name.
Voxel heat diffuse skinning. And it's $22.
Not too bad.
Unless
Yeah,
you add
yeah.
up, like all of them together is like.
I mean, currently you get it for 22. Yeah, I mean that's mainly just a lazy option.
So you just
I
click on
mean,
the bone and then on the voxel heat diffuse skinning button, right?
no, not at all. All I did is, let's go back. So this is not weighted. I just select the mesh, and all I'm doing, I click voxel heat skinning. And actually, I have to select the armature. And then it goes
so
through.
does this for all of the mesh.
Yes, but you
so
can
what actually
also.
does it do? Like extends its reach and search for, or does it just actually weight paint everything from scratch?
It does weight paint everything from scratch, but you can limit it. So, for example, most of the time you're using protect selected vertices. So, for example, let's go back where it's not working. So I'm just saying, okay, everything else that's absolutely perfectly fine. In edit mode, keep it selected, then run skinning, and
How
all
did
the
you
other.
select everything that's already painted?
Exactly. So I just, by using protect selected vertices.
Oh, it automatically selected it.
No, that was I just selected the one that's new, and then I press Control I to invert the selection, and then everything else selected, and then I checked protect selected vertex weight. So this means all the selected vertices won't be touched, so they stay the same. And yeah,
looks like
you
it's
can
working
actually
too.
improve it even
Yeah,
more
totally.
if you use this correction smoothness baker. So that's mainly so quickly overview for voxel heat diffusion. What it's actually doing, it creates blocks around your mesh. So you can think about when you use the remesh modifier with some blocks. So that's actually what it's doing. And then it checks which objects, which vertices are in which block. And then it weights them based on the voxel they are in. Because that means that also disconnected parts are weighted. So for example, when you have an avatar with accessories, like a belt or a pouch, then most of the time it will fail the automatic skinning. But yeah, with this one, it works pretty well. Okay, we had some skinning. Oh yeah, smoothness baker. So actually there is this smooth corrective. You only have to add this modifier to your object, and then you click the party button. And actually you have to keep your armatures also enabled, and now it will do some little dance.
Ooh. So it moves you all over the place to see how to get it like perfectly.
Exactly, and checks if there are some overlaps.
Nice.
And then at the
So
end,
you have to
just
correct smooth, attach a correct smooth modifier, and then use the correct smooth baker.
Exactly, but this is now
Yeah, I'm
completely
still buying
baked.
this.
It only uses the modifier, and then you simply remove it, and you have your finished weighted model. Okay. Okay. Actually, that's not an add-on, but one of my favorite functions when creating themes is, instead of clicking Shift to select your edges or your vertices, press Control. So you select the first one, and then you select the last one, and it will just connect them with the shortest path.
Nice.
And I don't only use themes for unwrapping. So normally you just make Control E and then mark theme. And then if you unwrap, it will be cut there. But if you are in the face select mode and you press L on a face, it will select all the faces that are only connected. And since the theme is under the hood disconnection, you only select the active theme. So most of the time I use the themes just to split up my objects in different parts without actually splitting it, and still have the smooth shading intact, because when you would split it, you actually have some shading issues here. For example, that's now split, and now you see you get this hard shading edge problem because the vertices are actually duplicated. So you have now here one vertex and another one, and this will create a sharp edge. But if you just use themes, then you can still select different patterns and still keep your smoothing intact. because the other way around would be just completely separate them. So you separate your parts into complete different objects, but this also has the same problem as when you split it. The shading will get sharp edges. So yeah, huge fan of just using seams to split up your object into different segments, especially when you want to select different parts quickly and often.
Very nice.
Okay, let's do something fun for the end. There is also a little plugin. It's called Physics Dropper. And it actually, so when you want to pre-place your assets in Blender, that's just super helpful. Or maybe you just don't want to align it perfectly on the ground. So I don't know. Let's grab this bench here, throw it in here. So most of the time I just isolate. So with tilde in English keyboards or in German keyboard, it's the divide key on the number block. You can quickly toggle between local and normal view. Local view is only the objects you have selected. I think I showed it last week already, but a small refreshment can't hurt. So, dropping objects, because in Blender it's super annoying. If you want to do physics simulation, you have to select your first objects, you go into physics, you select rigid body, you select passive, you change the properties, and then do that all for each of the active objects. Nobody has time for this, so what we are doing is we only select the active object, so the objects we actually want to apply a simulation, and then we press drop, and everything is falling to pieces. And then you can simply press apply to apply the current state, how it is. If you're not satisfied, you can always go with reset. And you can also just bake the whole animation into keyframes. And you can add some force field to it. So if you want to influence how stuff is a little bit moving around, I can do this. And if I bake this now to keyframes, for example, this will also completely record the movement I've done now manually. So when you play it back, it still has the basic falling down, but now there is my manual waving around with the hand and to animate stuff. So for example, if you haven't seen it in the reading space, how the throne assembles and disassembles, this was mainly done with this tool. And then some manual adjustments with the force field throwing stuff around.
Did you actually dismember it, like disassemble, went the other way and recorded it, and then assembled it back?
Yes, exactly. it's in reverse. But yeah, that's no problem, because you can just take your keyframes and just go SX-1. And now you have the full animation in reverse. So everything is chaotic, and now it starts to reassemble. Yeah. And also what is quite fun, let me quickly get rid of the animation. So let's just get some plane. Right click for context menu, few subdivisions, and then you can also just say, oh, okay, I want some cloth on it, and then you can just throw it on there.
Oh, nice.
And that looks crap, so we need a few more subdivisions, and also you can just select some of the presets. For example, silk is one of my favorites because it's most smoothly, but be aware, Blender's cloth simulation system is not the best, especially when dealing with mesh colliders. Yeah, so actually you could change it to, can you actually? Actually, I think you can't. Oh, okay, because, yeah, it should be normally a mesh collider for the passive objects, but yeah. What else is fun? A little feature in here. You
There.
can make the earth shake. So create more chaos.
If I could jump in there just very, very briefly, Elin, I think that's us wrapping up the event. So I'll just put a cap on it there for the live stream and let you guys know that we do this once a week. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Sorry, Elin, didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
No problem. That's actually a perfect closing note.
Great.
Unless you have more questions, and I'm happy if I can help.